Hello, my name is Lennart Stekkornes. I'm here today because I'd like to tell you something very important about how God created the world and you and me. You know, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm a medical doctor that is retired because of a neurological disease. So I have great pain and hard to talk and sit and walk and do everything around. But I will try to give you this message today. You think about water as something completely normal because we flush it in the toilet and we drink it, and we even consists of 67 or something % water. And you think it's just there. But I will tell you that water is very carefully planned and designed based on its properties. We can sustain life on Earth. When you look at me sitting here talking, you actually look through water, and no living human has ever seen anything without true water, because water is inside your eyeball, quite a lot of it. And just that property that water is totally transparent makes it possible for you to see clearly and for the photons to reach your retina. You might not think about it, but you have actually stars in your eyes, because the molecules, the oxygen and the hydrogen that constitutes each water molecule, has been built up inside stars a long time ago. God planned it this way when he created everything. He made it so that the stars firstly started to use hydrogen. Fusion between hydrogen atoms makes helium. And then as the stars runs out of hydrogen, they will use heavier and heavier atoms for fusion, and eventually you create oxygen. I think that has number 6 in the periodic table. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not a chemist or expert in physics. So what you have inside your eye and your whole body is actually built up over millions of years inside the stars, and you are made of stardust, and you are looking through stardust. You know, when you come to life, you're coming through water. You stay in your mother's womb for 9 months, and you're totally surrounded by water. This water is totally inert. You know, it doesn't harm you anything. And it's specifically designed for that purpose. And not just that purpose, but in general to be included in the biosphere in a way that makes it possible for all sorts of forms of life to exist, from amoeba to dinosaurs, from algae to big trees. All life needs this water to exist. And God made so plenty of it. You know, I asked God in my heart, what is the thing that you are most proud of, most happy with of all the things you created? I'm not talking about us, because it's most proud of us, I think, here on earth, but of all the things. And I felt in my heart that God said to me, water. That is what he's most happy with. And I said to him, is that why you created so much of it? Because if you look at the earth from the universe, from outside, you see that half of it is covered with water. And where did that water come from? Such huge amounts. I don't know, but probably God made it so that ice, huge comets or something like that came and hit the earth. And when they hit the atmosphere, they melted. And because of the atmosphere, the water did not evaporate, you know. Water is perfectly calibrated by the Creator to have those abilities that makes it stay here in liquid form. Because most fluids would boil at this temperature, and also water itself would boil here on Earth at room temperature if the atmospheric pressure was lower. Let's say it was just 2% of what it is today. Water would boil at room temperature and it would just disappear. You would have no oceans because they would boil away. But God has calibrated the earth to sustain life, and that's why there is an atmosphere that is perfectly suited to keep the water in place and to recirculate it and clean it through evaporation, going to clouds and rain coming down. And when you look at all the other properties that God gave to water, like the ability to dissolve nutrients, vitamins and minerals, and all the waste products that go out of the body, they all dissolve in water. Many other fluids would not dissolve them. All this so carefully planned. And remember also, when God made the flood, he did it by water. He cleansed the earth for all its evilness through water, and through water were Noah and his family saved. So you have to understand how much love God put into the concept of water when he created it, based on those subatomic particles that exist in hydrogen and oxygen and all other atoms. He planned it so carefully, you know, just the angle between the atoms in water is carefully planned to make it a dipole, to give it its properties, so it can do what it needs to do in your body and elsewhere in the ecological system, in the biosphere. Don't think when you drink water that you drink just something that is there by accident. Understand that it's carefully created and planned by God in love, because he loved you before he created you. So I'd like you to ask you now to go next. Take an empty glass, fill it up to the brim with water, and also remember that you drink love that God has put into that water and into your heart, because he loves you so much. And also when you look at something, remember that you're looking through it, through water, and you cannot see anything without through water. So I say, have a nice day, God be with you, Shalom, Olehitraot. Thank you for listening.